This is it. We're there. Peak migration for North America. Last night, at a single point in time, almost 800 million birds, right around 12:30 Eastern Time, in the skies over the U.S. And those numbers might still get bigger tonight and tomorrow night as we see the next major waves of migration coming in. So, let's jump into our Migration Minute and see where the birds were last night, where they're going to be tonight. We're also going to take a quick look at tomorrow night. So let's jump into it. Okay, looking at last night. Right there. There's the breadbasket of birds. They were moving up the Missouri River Valley and the Mississippi River Valley, basically from Oklahoma to Minnesota, all the way into Canada probably. We had some heavy bird migration, and you can see at around 12:30 Eastern Time, last night, this morning, whatever you want to call it, almost 800 million birds in flight at this given moment. You can see right there, there's our time, okay? 800 million almost. And we might be missing birds in some parts of the Rockies, like this particular station right here, where it's situated up higher elevation. Some birds might get missed, so we might have been well over. We even had some stations that weren't operating. You can see right there that station not operational at that time. So who knows truly how many were up there, but it was a lot. Last night was a lot. And again, we still might not have had our biggest night. We're going to see what tonight brings. It's already in the hundreds of millions moving tonight. We'll see our live map in just a moment. So the birds pretty much, this is about as good looking of a map as you can hope for. In that, you know, the birds are all pretty much just doing what exactly people think birds do in migration, which is, for the most part, south to north in spring migration. You can see a little bit of movement there, some movement, you know, a little off that way. But the birds are coming up. Now, these birds here, these are going to be some of the trending towards late season migrants that are starting to move up into their breeding grounds. But what else is still coming in? Well, our truly last of the season migrants, so some of our late season warblers and vireos, they're starting to pour in now and then spread out throughout the regions. So those end of season vireos, warblers, flycatchers, a lot of what we call the Empidonax flycatchers, they're all moving in. It's those truly less hardy insectivores are the ones that we're starting to see. I saw reports that nighthawks are back all over, so the common nighthawks are flooding back in. They're going to start spreading out everywhere. Birds are on the move. Now, depending upon where you're at, you might not be seeing those yet. So we're still getting our early season warblers out here in central Wyoming where I'm at. So where you're at is going to depend upon what birds you're getting. But coming back soon will be those end of season insectivores. Let's look ahead to tonight to see what's going to happen. Again, you know, these predictions, they're trying to predict, but they don't want to over-predict, under-predict, right? They're trying to find that nice in the middle spot of here's likely under, you know, the most typical conditions, what we should expect. And then you can see we're beating those by a lot because it's hard to predict exactly when birds are going to move where. So tonight, 377 million predicted, and the region is basically from Texas to the northeast, almost all the way up to Maine, although you can see the northern part of Maine a little quiet there. Some parts of the Gulf states here are a little quiet, but still a good numbers of birds. And then where else are we getting it? Well, the Rockies are finally getting it. The Rocky Mountains throughout the Intermountain West finally getting some bird action after being pretty quiet. Looks like the northern part of the Great Plains is finally getting it. And then last night, those hot places that were just packed with birds, they're a little quieter tonight, although still plenty of birds likely to be moving in those areas. So it doesn't matter where you're at. You can see on this map, there are no truly dead zones, just less hot zones for birds. So tomorrow, get out your binoculars, all right? Get out your binoculars and go look for some birds. If you have to call out of work, so be it. Looking ahead to the night of the 13th, 2 nights from tonight, you can see another big night predicted. Where is it at? Well, one central corridor there. Pretty much Mississippi and Missouri River valleys. They're packed all the way to the northern Great Plains and into Canada. The Great Lakes states getting a little bit. So the majority of the birds over, starting kind of last night, over the next 2 to 3 nights. And this is where you're going to see it's pretty consistent. They move straight up this way, kind of on the eastern edge of the Great Plains. They just move straight up through there. And a lot of them then are dispersing out into their breeding grounds. Some of them are heading to the boreal. Some of them are going to, stop in this area to breed, or in parts of these areas. But a lot of them, they're going to start spreading out into the boreal after they get far enough north. So 2 nights from now, the night of the 13th, huge movement right down Migration Alley. Where else? Well, Pacific Coast going to get a little bit, although this system up here is going to slow things down. Same for parts of the Rockies. You can see it's going to slow some things down. This system over here is going to be leaving, and so likely after it's moved off far enough, then the birds for the rest of the night will continue to move northward. Let's look at what's happening right now. Recording this on the late side again. Where's that movement? Well, the prediction was for that area, and that's exactly where it's already started. Now the sun is still kind of, setting across the west. Probably at time of recording here, the sun's probably setting somewhere in this region, I would bet. It just set for us in Wyoming not long ago as of recording time, so probably going to start setting out there, and then you'll start to see migration pick up, because tonight, a lot of good movement throughout the west. It just hasn't started yet, but you can see in Wyoming, lots of birds moving there. Why am I keying in on Wyoming? Because we have been high and dry all season, and we're finally starting to get it. And so I have to enjoy it. I have to revel in it. But we're not getting it nearly as good as Texas to the northeast. You all are seeing a lot of birds already. Like I said, already into the hundreds of millions of birds moving over your heads right now. Probably as many of you are sleeping or you're scrolling on social media while sitting on the toilet. Where's our lights out alert for tonight? So the night of the 12th, where are we looking? Pretty much everywhere except for kind of that slower area up in some of the northern Great Lakes areas, right? So you can see eastern Minnesota, the Twin Cities area there, pretty much all of Wisconsin, eastern Iowa, northern Illinois, and then western parts of Michigan. Outside of that, everyone else, shut them out. Get them out. Get those lights out. Again, do the things necessary to help birds. Let's get our yards turned into wildlife habitat to help birds. Let's get our windows treated to prevent window collisions in birds. Window collisions kill over 1 billion birds every single year. Let's get our outdoor cats. Let's keep them inside. It'd be best to keep them in all year. But you know what? This time of year, birds are extra stressed. So if you're only going to do it one time a year, this is the time of year to do it during these migration seasons. But still most ideal to just keep them in all year, or build some nice outdoor catio spaces for them to hang out where they're safe and wildlife are safe as well. So tonight, where do the lights out need to be? Everywhere. The alert should just say everywhere. Okay, we don't even need the map. Let's just go ahead. Everywhere. Everywhere should have lights out. Let's get our lights treated better to help our migratory birds. And then finally for the night of the 13th, 2 nights from now, where's the lights out alert? Again, there's going to be one slow area here, kind of in, basically you can see Indiana, Ohio, eastern, or most of eastern Michigan there, and then West Virginia, looks like western Pennsylvania, Kentucky, Tennessee, that area. You were getting it the night before, so you're getting it tonight, the night of the 12th. Well, tomorrow night, you're going to be getting it a lot less. Probably still plenty of birds moving in that area, though, so still good to get your lights out. And then where else do lights need to be out? Same old song and dance. Everywhere. Everywhere needs to get lights out. But this is where we said that Migration Alley is going to be in 2 nights, straight up from Texas through the Great Plains. So anywhere in those areas, we need lights out. We've obviously, we've got some bigger population centers with eastern Nebraska there, Lincoln and Omaha. Kansas City going to be a big one. Des Moines in there, the Twin Cities. This is not a city. This is actually just energy development. that we need to do a better job of controlling the lights on. Then you can see basically everything from Houston all the way up to Dallas, Fort Worth, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Topeka. We've got a ton of places through that channel from Texas through the Northern Great Plains where lights out is going to be critical. Then over here, Arizona, you can see Tucson, Phoenix, both in lights out alerts. In New Mexico, we've got Santa Fe and Albuquerque, both in lights out alerts. And then much of California, pretty much California, almost every night of migration, we have to do better about getting lights out in those areas. I saved my finest. I got extra, let me straighten my bow tie out here. Got extra prettied up because this is a special night. All these nights are special nights. Probably won't wash this shirt between each night of recording, but I'm going to wear it each night because these are special nights because it is peak migration. Get out, enjoy it, and we'll see you soon for another Migration Minute.